Find out.
It's The Loan Show on KSRO with George Adair. Call in with your questions now at 636-1350.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. We were just talking to James, and it's a good possibility that he would be a candidate for HARP. He has a non-owner occupied property. And a good resource to our listeners here at KSRO is to go to one of our websites. It's not flashy. It's not even that pretty. Sorry, John, I know you helped design it, but it could be prettier. But the point is, we're trying to just get you information, and it's getharprefi.com. So if you go to the website, getharprefi.com, it's a Bay Equity site. We'll get your information, and we'll help you determine if you're eligible for HARP. Mm-hmm. So this is people who are underwater. This is for people who that means they owe more than their house is worth. This is for people who have an investment property or not. Could be owner-occupied. HARP is a big program. Okay, so go to getharprefi.com. Okay, we're taking your calls here live. Let's talk about your modification questions or refinance questions, questions about when you should enter the market. Taking your calls at 636-1350. So I was talking to you about what the steps are to get in. If you are in this tunnel and you feel like the light at the end is possibly an invitation to get into the marketplace, as I think it should be for a lot of people, we can show you how to use the rents from the property you're going to buy to qualify for a loan. That's so great. 30-year fixed loan, right? Yeah. These rates are in the low fours. Very predictable rate. You're never going to have to worry about an adjustable or an exploding mortgage. Mm-hmm. We don't put people in those loans unless they really, really want to. But did you know that Freddie Mac just did a survey of all loans, and it was a statistically zero. Very few loans are actually adjustable rate mortgages anymore. The programs are available. People are smarter. Loan officers are better educated and are educating. So we're doing that every day at Bay Equity, is helping people understand what loan programs are available to them, and that all starts with a pre-approval. Well, you need a pre-approval in order to figure out what you can qualify for, right? So what you have to do is find a reputable bank or broker that can take a look at your financial situation and then help you determine if getting an investment property is a good place for your money and a good way to increase your assets in your balance sheet. A lot of people did it wrong. They got these loans that kept their payments really low, and they expected to be able to refinance out of them, or they expected the house to go up in value and go, and then they would be able to pay that loan off. Well, they got option arms. They got negative amortizing loans that were terrible loans. I even got a few of those loans. I was drinking my own Kool-Aid, folks. I had a couple of these option arms. The reality of us today that with rates in the low fours for non-owner occupied type investors, you can cash flow a lot of these properties. You can go pick up a house in Santa Rosa for $300,000. You put down, say, $60,000, and you put renters in there. There's your kid's college education. I've got a condo in Healdsburg. It basically cash flow even. I own it with a good friend of mine named Andy. Hey, Andy, if you're listening. It's been painful because it was a high interest loan, and then we were able to get it. The interest rate went down because it was an adjustable. But that's my kid's college education. I call it the college house. I mean, basically, it's this nice condo in Healdsburg. So we can help you figure out what strategy you need to employ in order to win the real estate game. And don't be offended by the term the real estate game, like that borrower was several years back. It is a game. Playing the stock market is a game. Putting your money in the housing market is a game. It's a gamble. It is not a perfect investment. I like it because it's real property. Folks, the difference between putting your money in the stock market is robo-trading, not fundamental trading today. It's over 70% of all trading is done based on market movements, not fundamentals. But you could put your money in real property. It might go down. It might go up. At the end of the day, you actually have a tangible asset. That's how you win the real estate game, is you have a tangible asset. How do you start the game? You start by calling Bay Equity Home Loans. Call us at 583-8100, and we're going to have someone there get you pre-approved so you can understand what you qualify for. Next, I'm going to refer you to a licensed real estate agent that I know is capable, that is able to show you property and get you the right deals. And then I'm going to put you in touch with the right vendors for home inspections, for pest inspections, for insurance. Folks, I've been doing this business a long time. I've had a lot of people come through our office, and I know who to refer you to. Now, it looks like we might have a caller.
We had someone call in, Katie. She couldn't stay on the line. Katie in Santa Rosa. She did a refi with Bank of America, and they claim it was the first phase of HARP. Can she refi again?
Not if she refied after June 2009, which she probably did if it was the first phase of HARP. Katie, sorry I couldn't take your call live. Sometimes I get to a point where I'm rambling and ranting. Basically, the cutoff point currently for HARP is if your loan was originated before June 1st, 2009, you can qualify for HARP. If you got a loan after June 1st, you cannot. Now, HARP 3.0, fancy way of saying the third revision to HARP, there is going to be some effort to extend out when that cutoff date is into 2010. Okay. So we don't know whether Katie or other people who already have participated in HARP would be able to participate in it again, but there's at least some awareness out there. So we're going to go to our second break, and hope you'll stick around. Give us a call here if you want, 636-1350. You've had a couple good questions. Let's talk about how you can win the real estate game, and then go to getharprefi.com, and let's get you started on seeing if you're eligible. Stick around.
To find out more about Bay Equity Home Loans, call George Adair at 707-583-8100. That's 707-583-8100.
Hey there, Sonoma County. This is George Adair, host of the all-new Loan Show on KSRO. I'm inviting KSRO listeners to join me on Wednesday at 12:30 for a lighthearted but informative look at mortgage and real estate matters that affect you. I want your calls and questions, so join me Wednesdays at 12:30 for the Loan Show on KSRO. Folks, you know I'm always touting the benefits of a 15-year fixed loan, right? My logic is simple. Most people will save over $100,000 in interest. You could actually own your home free and clear by the time you retire. I want you to know that Bay Equity Home Loans is offering a 15-year loan at 3.25%, APR 3.39%. So call me at 583-8100 and see if you qualify for this amazingly low fixed-rate loan and start paying your loan off for good. Call 583-8100 and see how much you can save. That number again is 583-8100. Don't forget to tune into the Loan Show on KSRO every Wednesday at 12:30.
Department of Corporations number 6053919, NMLS 238915, Equal Housing Lender. It's time to get your trees ready for the change of seasons. Western Tree Removal specializes in removing trees in severe or complicated conditions. A fully licensed, bonded, and insured company, they'll give you peace of mind. Call today for a free estimate, 707-235-7884. Here's one customer that was glad he made that call.
I'm Ron Crandall from Bodega Bay. I heard an ad on the radio for Western Tree. They came out and looked at it and gave me a realistic estimate, and I was impressed with their presentation. So I hired them to do the tree. This tree was 3.5 foot in diameter at the trunk and went over my garage partially and over Highway 1 partially. They took it down in less than a day and cleaned everything up spotlessly without a tiniest bit of damage. I like their work so well that I've hired them 2 more times for other trees.
For free advice and estimates, go to westerntreespecialist.com or call 707-235-7884.
If I knew anybody that needed tree work, I would tell them right up front, hire Western Tree, because you're going to get clean service, the best service, and it'll be done right.
It's The Loan Show on KSRO with George Adair. Call in with your questions now at 636-1350.
Hey, folks. Yeah, so I was talking about the real estate game and how to play it. You know, there's a lot of players in the real estate game. You've got your insurance broker and your real estate agent. You've got your mortgage broker or banker. You've got escrow. You've got the principals involved, the seller of the property. Very complicated, a lot of moving parts, and you really need to work with someone that knows what they're doing. I can tell you that person is probably not the guy sitting at the local bank behind the desk in the big room looking, 20 yards from the tellers. Fresh out of college, just starting to cut his teeth, never owned a house before, doesn't know the difference between a grant deed and, say, a deed of trust. one conveys property and one secures the loan to the property, and could not explain that to you, right? Folks, you need to work with reputable people when you decide to go buy a house, especially if you're going to be buying an investment property. You need to understand all the dynamics and what it takes to qualify for that. So, again, at Bay Equity Home Loans, that's what we do. We do it all day. We do it probably more than 90% of the other mortgage companies in Sonoma County. We're growing. So I wanted to announce that if you are in the lending business, if you know someone, we're hiring and we're growing, and we're going to be taking on some additional office space. So if you know anyone, call us at the office at 583-8100. We appreciate the referrals. Hey, we do this weekly segment called the Bay Equity Refi Jackpot Winner. And the winner this week is Kim such and such. We can't give out Kim's full name. I would lose my license. But here's the good news. She had a $550,000 loan. She paid it down. So we did a refinance to $480,000. Her rate was 7%.
Ouch.
On an investment property. That's not cash flowing. We got it to cash flow. New loan, just over 4.5, so 4.75. The payment dropped $1,156. That's huge.
Wow.
The jackpot winnings for her would be $416,000 just in savings. Yeah, that's a lot of coins coming out of a slot machine. All she had to do was call us. We showed her the path. We showed her the way. Spent maybe 10 minutes on the phone determining whether or not this would be a good idea for her.
And that was the cash savings. But then you also...
Well, you invest.
Right.
So, like I always say, half of America doesn't have $1 of savings. Paycheck to paycheck, right? A lot of investors putting money back in the property don't have any savings. So if she were to take, say, less than half of those savings, $500 a month, she could put that back in her mortgage, pay it down probably about 10 years faster. So then she owns it free and clear faster. Or she could put it into some sort of annuity or IRA or some sort of savings account. Mm-hmm. We have financial planners we can recommend people to speak with about this kind of stuff. And if that was making 4% a year for 30 years, she'd have another $347,000. Total jackpot winnings would be $763,000.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, folks, you could play the lotto or you could call Bay Equity Home Loans at 583-8100. Talk to one of our experienced loan officers. Learn how to win and play and win the real estate game. Learn who to work with and who not to. Today, 2 vendors basically ruined deals. I mean, it was insane. An insurance guy I worked with for years. Turns out he didn't know as much as I thought he knew. I'm not going to work with him anymore. He's off my list. It's unfortunate. But, he basically provided the wrong level of service to a client, and it's unfortunate. So, I was able to find out what happened there, and now we're steering the client to a new direction. And then a real estate agent, also terrible job, lost a deal for a client because she didn't know how to do her job properly. So, we know who is good in this town and who is not in this town. And so, folks, I appreciate you tuning in to The Loan Show. We're here every Wednesday at 12:30. Join us again next Wednesday,